Welcome to the podcast, or should have said no, part 2. I thought part 2 tonight was better than part 1 last night. I really like the introduction to the MMA plotline that Drew's going to be going through. The scenes with Claire and Liam were pretty funny, and Allie mentioned Justin Bieber again tonight. Part 2 started out kind of similar as part 1. There was a scene in both episodes with Drew, Adam, and their mom in the car. I found it kind of like, okay, they just happened to find a job transfer, and just the night before, Drew's mom told him, we're working, we can't just change our lives like this, blah blah blah. But anyways, they're not gonna move. But I just thought that was kind of a little bit of a cheap ploy. So if you listened to yesterday's podcast, you heard me talking about, in the preview for tonight, they showed that darkened figure, and T-Nick is known for their misleading promos. Obviously this was no one that was going to harm Drew. It was Julian, and he was going with Owen to the gym to do some MMA fighting. And I thought this was a really good setup for this plot. When I heard about that Drew was going to be doing the MMA fighting, I wasn't sure, how it was going to come up, just some random thing. But now they're actually taking time to develop it, which is really cool. And seeing this scene tonight, with Drew and Owen practicing the fighting and stuff, I thought was great. Owen's been a great character this season, and I'm glad we get a chance to see, someone we haven't got to see a lot of in the past, and that he's going to be, involved hopefully more in this plotline with Drew. The thought of that has me pretty excited. And now this makes me wonder if maybe at the MMA fight that Drew enters, is he going to get into a fight with someone from the gang, and he's gonna, hurt this person, and that's gonna be Drew's revenge, or is Drew gonna develop skills that will eventually lead to a re-encounter with someone from the gang, and something will happen? I'm not quite sure what will be the outcome of Drew learning MMA. It definitely will be fun to watch. Once again, Degrassi this season has been incorporating new storylines that we haven't seen before, that aren't really covered anywhere in TV, and are things in popular culture. MMA fighting is very popular right now. And, one of the other big storylines that are big current events and stuff we haven't seen before were the bed bugs that were from a few episodes back, and even last season with the hoarding. That's a really big thing right now, and these are all storylines you don't really see ever on a show. So, you can't really complain that Degrassi's doing the same thing over and over, because they're not, and even the storylines that they do repeat, they're doing it with, if they did something before with a male character, they're doing it now with a female character. If they did it with a female character, they're doing it with a male character. And then all in all, they have completely new things, like the MMA and the bedbugs and the hoarding, which is great for the show. It's a whole new breath of fresh air. It's brand new. Everything about it is great. And just to clear something up for those who don't know, MMA stands for Mixed Martial Arts. Once again, I have to bring up Darcy. Tonight, once again, would have been such a good time to somehow incorporate Darcy into the show for a brief moment, for whatever. When Claire found the divorce papers and she found out that her father cheated on her mother multiple times, and all the bad things they had done to each other, how good would it have been just to hear a phone call from Darcy? Just contact Shanae in LA or New York or wherever she was for the hiatus, because at this point when the episode was being filmed, 90210 had wrapped production for the year. They could have just had her record a voiceover thing in a studio and emailed a track down or something like that. I'm not asking for her to come back to the show or film an entire episode. Just a brief cameo would make all the difference in the storyline. Claire and Liam had some very funny moments tonight. As for Jake, there was something he said last night that off the top of my head, I can't remember it. But it was when him and Claire were talking on the couch, and just the way he said something made me believe that he knew that his father and Claire's mother weren't together. But as shown tonight, it seemed like he didn't know, or maybe he was just putting on an act. I don't know. Maybe he found out something. But either way, I had my suspicions that Claire's mom and his dad were dating. So this is going to put an interesting complex onto their relationship. Nothing from Eli in this episode, but if you caught the promo, him and Imogen are going in for a kiss. Will they start a relationship or not? We're going to have to wait a few days to find out about that one. Dave is an idiot, to put it bluntly. You know, he didn't cheat, which is true, and he did tell Sadie the truth. The way he went about it wasn't necessarily in the best way, but I do like the prospect of Allie and Dave being together. I kind of miss Allie being like a main character on the show. It seems now she's kind of like a recurring character. You know, I'm kind of torn if I want to see her more frequently or if I don't want to see her more frequently. I really like where she's at now, and I kind of do want more, but I'm afraid if we do get a lot more, then I'll probably get annoyed of her. And also, as I said earlier, Allie mentioned Justin Bieber, which I believe is either the third or the fourth time now, just this season alone. Thanks for listening to the podcast tonight, and make sure you check out a special podcast tomorrow for the Week 3 wrap-up featuring Alex and Taylor of DG Experience. Degrassi Extra. So tonight at movie night, I kept wondering to myself, is that Degrassi of the Dead in the background? And to my confirmation, Steven Stone confirmed on Twitter moments ago that it was indeed Degrassi of the Dead playing in the